So we can access the Benthos like we did on the shore earlier when the tide was out, but when the tide is in and you want to go a little bit further afield, having something like a boat can be a really good idea.
Okay, so a boat's also a great diving platform for things like when I go out and do my research and go scuba diving, we can go underwater and look at the Benthos and count different animals or seaweeds that are living in the substrate there too. But besides diving and walking along the seashore, there's other tools that we can use to sample and measure the Benthos.
So over here we have a pretty old school looking tool, but it's stuck around for a while because it is pretty reliable, and it is called a box dredge. So as you can see, it goes along the bottom, and everything that it kind of gets as it moves along, towed behind the boat, goes into here. So it can be selective because these squares can be quite big, so some small things can be lost, but if you want a general idea of what's on the Benthos, this is a great way to find that out.
Another tool that we have is this Ponar Grab, which you can deploy off the boat, and it will give you an idea of the substrate. So what you do to set this up is you put this pin here. Oops, let me just do it on the ground. And we open it up and put this pin in, like so. And so we have it ready to deploy over the boat and drop down. So we'll drop it off the side of the boat. And once it hits the bottom, it'll pop open and grab the Benthos that's down there. And you pull it back up over the side of the boat, and you can open it back up and sieve everything out into a little container that you can then label and check out everything that's in there. Limitations though, obviously if you have a big bedrock there, it's not going to pick up the entire bedrock, or if you have some really hard packed sand or gravel, it may not pick that up either. So you'll usually deploy this a couple times in a certain area to get lots of different samples, and that way you can see what's living there or the Benthos substrate that's there.
So our next benthic study tool is actually just a wee camera. So this has a weight, once we get all the cords out of the way, it has a weight at the bottom, so that's going to hit the sea floor, and then the camera is just going to dangle above that weight. So here we've got a screen, so we can have a look at what's going on with the camera. And we can even record what we see too, which is really great using the USB. But as Gabby probably knows too, when you're diving or when you're using a camera, you need to be able to see. So you need to have light and visibility. So Gabby's got something here called a Secchi disc. And what happens is we put that over the side of the wharf or the boat, and we go down as far as we can till we can't see the black and white markings on the disc anymore. And we take a record of the depth that we can see through the water column.
So, let's deploy it out. So we keep it going until you can't see it anymore. It's right about there. So, and then once you can't see it anymore, you pull it back up. And you can measure the distance of the line here to see how far that visibility is, and gives you a sense of the turbidity of the water.